The Middle Ages were a strange time. Clean water was in short supply, so people would drink wine and beer at 10 in the morning. Bizarre punishments for crimes, such as forcing the perpetrator to wear animal masks in public, were as common as ripping the criminal apart on a stretching rack. With an average lifespan of 30-odd years, the Middle Ages didn't make life easy. Surely such a world could drive one to the brink of insanity. A medical journal from the Middle Ages reported a bizarre event that may very well be the first case of mass hysteria recorded in detail, occurring prior to the famous dancing plague of 1518. I'm speaking of the case of the French meowing nuns. It all began in a French convent when a single nun inexplicably began to meow, just like a cat. You would expect her fellow nuns to be shocked and confused, but this was not the case. Only minutes later, every nun in the convent began to meow the same as her. This went on for a little while and then stopped. All returned to normal and it was back to business. Until the next day. At the same time as the previous day, the nuns were struck by some hysterical force and began to meow again, then stopping after a little while and speaking as if the event never occurred. Day after day this went on, and the cat concerts grew even longer, reaching several hours at a time. At this point, soldiers were brought in to contain the situation, ordered to whip and beat the nuns until they stopped, putting an end to the case of the meowing nuns. So, was this a legitimate case of mass hysteria? Or just a group of bored ladies having a laugh? In that time, many nuns were forced by their parents to join convents such as this one, and submit to a stressful, difficult, and numbing lifestyle of poverty, labor, and celibacy. You almost have to seriously wonder, with the details given, whether this was done in jest or even as a harmless act of rebellion. There is, of course, the Christian motif of the cat, which leads us down a different direction altogether. Cats have long been thought to be familiars of the devil, or spiritual manifestations of something demonic. Witches were thought to shapeshift into black cats, for example. In the case of the nuns, the church likely interpreted it as a case of demonic possession. Perhaps the nuns, in their hysteria, felt they were being possessed, and the ones who joined in truly believed in that reality, as is the case in most mass hysterias. Similarly, if they were doing it as a joke or to get a rise out of their superiors, I think it worked. The cat nun hysteria doesn't end there though. We should take a look at a related and perhaps more extreme case. Sometime in the 1400s, a German nun viciously bit one of her fellow nuns in the convent. Like a vampiric plague, it was only minutes until the bit nun bit another nun, and all the nuns began biting each other. It spread like wildfire. Throughout Germany, there were reports of biting nuns, and this nefarious hysteria traveled into Holland and even into Rome. It was terror across borders, but then suddenly, the nuns stopped biting each other. Other than the theory of exhaustion, no one knows why they stopped. And certainly, no one knows why they started. What do you think of the cat nuns? Do you think they meowed and bit each other on purpose? Do you think they were hysterical? Or do you think it was the work of the devil? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this short dive into hysterical history and want more crazy stories from the past, subscribe and give this video a like. I'm Mr. Mythos, and I'll see you in the next video.